Hello, everyone. This is Southern Belle Whisper. I hope you all are doing well today. So, this is going to be like a little past weekend update ramble for you guys. Truth be told, I cannot wait to start working so I can start putting money back for future video content. I miss my DVD show and tells. I miss when I worked at Walmart, there was a whole aisle of like sensory toys, like fidget spinners and squishy toys. And I remember thinking, I don't think I've ever made a trigger ASMR video before. I've watched plenty of trigger ASMR videos, but I don't think I've ever made a video like that. And my nails have gotten longer now, so I can tap now, and everything's just working out to my benefit. And I've got a feeling I'm going to start working soon, and we will get into that. I've got some pretty big news for you guys. I don't know what to start with first. Let's just start with the big news, okay? But you guys can't tell anybody about this, okay? It's a secret, okay? But she gave me permission to tell you guys. So you guys know Selena, my niece. I think it was the middle of the week, or maybe it was Monday. I don't know. Days are flying by. And she said that she needed me and my mom to call her, that she had some news. So all week long, I've been telling my mama, I said she is either pregnant, engaged, or I knew she had a surprise in store for her mother. So I was like, it could be any of those three things. So all week long, I've been trying to guess. And me and Selena, we've been close all our lives. Like, we might as well be sisters. We're only 7 years apart, and she was like my savior when I was living in hell. That relationship with her was the only relationship that my ex couldn't alienate me from. Like, I'd always be hanging out with her or going to the movies. Like, if it hadn't been for her, I'd probably be dead, truth be told. So all week long, I've been like, oh man, what's the news going to be? But I had these little like God winks, and I told myself, I was like, this is it. This is what she's going to tell us, because I've had so many little God winks. So on Saturday, Selena called us about 12:30, me and my mom, and I was getting myself ready. I kind of knew in my heart that this was what the news was going to be. And we talked for like 2 minutes, and then Selena was like, okay. She said, 333, I'm pregnant. So like, at the time, okay, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little thrown, a little bit. I'm not going to lie. It's not that I'm not elated for her, but that like mama pang happened. You know what I mean? That pang of, man, you know what? You guys know what I mean. I've told you before, when I met my ex, I thought he was the man I was going to spend the rest of my life with and have a couple of children with. And you know, the dream that I always had. So when she told us, I was a little thrown for a second. But then I went upstairs and I prayed about it. And I was like, I will spoil that baby run. It's really a long story with my family, but I don't have much to do with my nieces or nephews. It's not my choice, really. But I know in my heart that I will have everything to do with this baby. And she went to her first doctor's appointment today. And I mean, her and her boyfriend, who have been together 3 years, they've been planning this. Like, she's always been like, man, I want to have a baby so bad. But she was so nervous today. I told her, I said, everything's going to be okay. And she went to the doctor, and it was confirmed that she is indeed pregnant. And the baby is supposed to be due January 17th. My birthday is January 18th. So, I mean, that could change. The baby could either come earlier or later. But, like, Saturday night, I called her. I sent her like a voice message crying because I was like, I can't believe my baby girl is pregnant. Like, I cannot believe it. She has come through so much, you guys. Like, it's her story to tell, really, but she said so much happened in her life, and she deserves for her dreams to come true, and not one of them has come true for her, and I couldn't be more proud. So yes, my niece Selena is pregnant. I told her, I said, I have a feeling you're gonna have a girl first. And for a girl name, she said, well, should I tell the name Selena? I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna leave the names out of it, but it's a really, really pretty William Shakespeare name. That's all I'm gonna tell you guys. But I can't believe it still. Like, I cannot believe it. I'm so happy. And then when, Jay helped me a lot too, because after I got the news about Selena being pregnant, I hung out with, God made it to where I hung out with Jay, and he had recently had an interview on, I think it was Thursday, with a company, and he got the job on the spot, because, forgive me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure his mother's boyfriend got him the job. I'm pretty sure. Forgive me if I'm wrong. And I actually got a check from Walmart that I didn't know I was getting. So I was like, I still owe you lunch. Because I think I told you guys about the whole Applebee's disaster. So we went and we got Mexican, and then we went swimming at the rec center in Withfield, Virginia. They have a hot tub and a pool. I love to swim, and I love to relax in the hot tub. But as I was sitting there in the hot tub, I told him, I was like, I'm happy that she's pregnant, but it hurts a part of me that always wanted to be a mother. He said, why? He said, you get to spoil the kid. You get to buy gifts for the kid. You get to do all the fun stuff, but you don't have to, you don't have to go through the hard stuff that mothers have to go through. Like, I hate pain. Can't stand pain. So he was like, you don't gotta go through the delivery of a child. You don't have to go through them being a teenager and being an asshole to you. I was like, okay. All right. I see. Okay. So when I got home from us hanging out, I saw things a whole lot differently. And that's when I sent the voice message to her, and I was crying. And I told her how happy I was. Thank you, Jay. Because it's true. Like, I could never, I put an application for, a kid's home around here. And it was like, you gotta take care of 10 kids. And I was like, I don't know that. Because kids kind of make my anxiety go up a little bit. Like screaming babies and things like that. Like, I love being an aunt, though. And I'm going to be a great aunt. Great aunt, you guys. Great aunt right here. So I'm like, you know what? He's right. I might just get me a dog one of these days. To, like a dog I've always wanted, like a golden retriever or a Siberian husky or something. But I know my niece has always wanted to have a baby, and she just lost her grandfather too. Her mother's father just passed away. And then my mama is, she loves the fact that my mama's still going to be here when she has the baby. And that's going to help my mama, especially losing her son. That's really going to help her. This is her first, through blood, great-grandchild. Like, my dad's sons, it's not through blood. But this is going to be her first great-grandchild. But, so, when I hung out with Jay, I told him that I need to stop by Walmart because I had just enough money to get Mama something for Mother's Day. I had written her a handwritten note because I didn't know I was going to get that check. So I wrote her like a handwritten note, like 3 pages worth. But I got just enough money to where I could go and get her something for Mother's Day. And then I told him I need to get a belt for my dress that I'm wearing on Sunday. This dress, I'll show it to you guys. This dress, you guys have seen this dress. I showed it in my Temu show and tell, and I'm also wearing it in the community post that I posted for Mother's Day. That belt was $14, but and then I got Mama Goose Creek candle for Mother's Day. She loves candles just as much as I do. And like a little $3 like body butter selection. And then the handwritten note. She loved it. But when I got up on Mother's Day and I put this dress on, I realized I didn't need the belt. If you go back and look at my picture, my community post picture, you can see why I didn't need the belt. Like, Jay told me a few times, there's a picture that we took. We went on, if you know where Big Walker Mountain is, he said, you've got like a figure now. And I didn't really see it until I put on this dress on Mother's Day. And I was like, okay, all right. I see it now. I see it. And I texted him. I said, I see it now. Okay, maybe I do have a figure. He said, bro, I told you. And I'm not going to lie, that made me feel tremendously good about myself. That I've lost just enough weight to where my figure is showing up. I've always had like, I've always been big, boned, but I've always had like an hourglass figure, and I'm starting to see it again, and it makes me really, really, really happy. But I hadn't worn this dress yet to church. I think that happened for a reason that I wasn't supposed to wear until Mother's Day. I also got my mother to come to church for Mother's Day. My mother gets weak still, from her 5 strokes. To be honest, she probably shouldn't even be here. But my brother calls her a miracle woman because she had 5 strokes. And she can walk great, but she gets, when out and about, she gets weak still. So I don't take her to church that much. But like, I took her on Easter, and then I told her that I want her to come with me to church for Mother's Day. So my mother got to come with me to church for Mother's Day, and we sat in the front row. And I remember it was this past Wednesday, and Jay was there with me, and our praise team worshiper, the praise team worship pastor, sorry, just had this look about him like he was really going through something. And I told Jay, I said, something's very wrong. Very wrong. But I'm not one of those people that pries. Like, I know somebody, if they choose to tell us, that's, well, good. But I can just always tell if somebody's going through something. And I told Jay, I said, something is going on with him, and it's something bad. So I remember Wednesday night praying and saying, whatever they are going through, please bring them comfort, him and his wife, bring them comfort and peace. But on Sunday, the pastor was like, thank y'all so much for praying for us. You might have seen it in the news, but I saw it in the news, but I didn't realize. But his niece was shot and killed. I'm pretty sure they even put it in People magazine. But she was shot and killed, his niece. And I couldn't imagine, and I just thought it was so brave of him. He said, we had her funeral yesterday, and I just thought it was the bravest thing for him to stand up there and lead praise worship in that state. Like, it's so inspiring to me and heartbreaking at the same time. But I tell my mom when I take her to church, I said, you don't have to stand up, because we stand up to sing, of course. I said, you don't have to stand up. I said, you being here is enough. And we ended up singing Gratitude by Brandon Lake, and that song is so special to me. Very special. It's one of the only songs that I can listen to and get filled with the Holy Spirit. But close to the end, where everybody was hollering and praising and worshiping, I heard my mom behind me, hooting and hollering. And then about 2 minutes later, I felt her nudge me with her cane that she had, and I bent down to see what she needed, and she said, I want to stand up. So I went up beside her on her left side, because that's her weak side, and I helped her to stand up, and I kept my arm wrapped around her, and we finished that song, me with my arm around her, praising the Lord together. And that meant so much to me, you guys, because I don't know if you guys remember me in February, but I thought I was going to lose her. She had a bad fall, and she was bedbound, and I thought I was going to lose her. And I was not ready to lose her, you guys. I was not ready to lose her. But she's gotten stronger through the grace and prayers and my church family praying for her. She was able to come to church with me, and she's gotten stronger, and she amazes me. She does. But that moment when she asked me to help her stand up so she could finish off the song praising the Lord like I was, it just meant so much to me. Sorry, I got a little misty-eyed, and I'll be right back. Now, I know some of you are all about the David talk, and I am going to talk a little bit about him. It was hard. This was the first Sunday where I did not look over at him. I did not go up to him to say hello. I didn't do anything, but it was hard. I was like, I'm sitting right here in the front row, and he's like all the way across the church, sitting where he usually sat, and it was hard. Like, I had to keep telling myself, Kelly, focus on what the pastor's saying. Focus on the pastor. Focus on your mother that is here with you. Hold on. Focus on your mother that is here with you. Do not look over there. But you guys, it was so hard. So freaking hard not to look over there. And I felt like my whole side of my face was on fire. Like, it was like the enemy was just saying, come on, look over. He's probably looking at you too. I mean, how couldn't he? Look how good you look. You know, I wasn't telling myself that. I'm just saying, like, it was hard. It was really hard. And I remember that on Saturday when me and Jay were swimming, he said, I don't know if David's mom is still alive or not, but I know he had mentioned that he had a mother and that he was trying to get her to come to church. And I said, yeah, I'm pretty sure that David's mother is still alive. But after church, I looked over one time. One time, I did look over because I just couldn't help it no more. And you guys, I am still crazy about him, and I'm really trying. I'm really trying to get over it. I even made a whole other playlist called Choosing Myself, where it has like Believe by Cher and Sorry Not Sorry by Demi Lovato. But it's like, he is all I freaking think about, and I'm like tired of it, you know. But it was hard. But I didn't want things to be really, really weird, you know. I know he is used to me liking his post. So speaking of his mother, he posted a post about his mother, you know, Happy Mother's Day to my mother. And it was really sad. He was like, I just noticed we don't take pictures together anymore. And so I liked it. I wanted to put heart, but I only liked it. And I left it at that. And my mama had a great Mother's Day. She cried when she read the letter that I wrote her. And I was laying in bed last night listening to Glee songs, like pretending. If you guys are Glee fans, mostly songs that made me think of David, like Pretending, when they did, Finn and Rachel did Pretending, Jesse's Girl, Don't Stop Believing, I Just Can't Stop Loving You, you know, songs like that. And then a post popped up on my Facebook. Corey Monteith's birthday was yesterday. So I was like, oh, so that's the reason why I've been wanting to listen to Glee songs. Corey Monteith played Finn Hudson on Glee, and that show changed my life when I was a teenager. And his death, other than Matthew Perry, was so hard for me because I was rooting for him to stay sober. And yeah, and he ended up dying anyways. But I was about to go to sleep, and I was all up in my feels, you know, wanting to cry over Corey, who's been gone almost 12 years. And I looked on my Facebook one last time, and David had liked my Mother's Day post that I had posted hours before for my mother. That included that photo that I put on my community post. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do where it pertains to David, you guys. I don't know. But anyways, so that happened on Mother's Day. Are you guys ready for some other good news? I had an interview today with Mount Rogers. And I know I told you guys that I had a feeling that I wanted to get that job at the pregnancy center, but I think that was just because I knew my niece was pregnant. This job, they had already told me about it. It's 7 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday the next week. And I was like, oh my gosh, that would be so perfect. But I had put in so many applications to Mount Rogers that I didn't know what I was interviewing for. But it turned out it was for a CNA like me, for a 10-patient housing in Withfield, Virginia, which is only 10-15 minutes away from me. And all the questions they asked me, I knew by heart because I've been a CNA for 12 years. So I wasn't nervous because I knew anything that they asked me, I would know by heart being a CNA. Like, they asked me what my strengths were. I said, well, you can't tell it because it was a Zoom meeting interview. Hold on. So I said, you can't tell from the camera, but I'm actually 6'1" and very able-bodied. And you guys, their eyes got so big. They were like, you're 6'1". I was like, mm-hmm. And they asked me, do I get tired easily? I said, no. I said, I'm not one of those that gets off work and stays up till 1 a.m. I said, I'm one of those that I am exhausted when I get off of work. I said, so I'm either asleep by 9 or 10 o'clock. They were like, oh, we like that. And then I said, I also have a clean driving record. I said, I've never even been pulled over or gotten a ticket. And they said, well, that's great because that's something we check too. And I felt so comfortable, you guys, that I was not nervous at all. And they even told me, they said, as long as we call your references and everything is good on that front, you might be able to start orientation next week. You guys, this has been my freaking dream since I moved here, is to work. I got this little pamphlet, like the career fair post, popping up randomly on my Facebook one day, and me having this feeling that you need to go to this career fair. I even got a call for another interview, but it was for like an 18-hour thing. I was like, actually, I just got a job today, but thank you, because I know in my heart I got this job. I just know it. I mean, I know who my references were. Literally nothing can go wrong. Even though the enemy's been like, oh yeah, something's going to go wrong. They're not going to be, like one of the supervisors that I gave their number, like a past supervisor, they couldn't get in touch with. So I had to dig up another supervisor, and it was like a whole thing. But I think everything's going to turn out the way I want it to. And this would be perfect. I would have every other Wednesday off, so I'd be able to go to church. I'd have every Sunday off. I'd have every weekend off, because with Jay, he works Monday through Friday. So I'll have, almost every weekend, every other Saturday off. But then they were like, are you interested overtime? Like, if a coworker was to call out, would you be interested in coming in? I said, yes. Yes, 100% yes. So, yeah. A lot has happened over the weekend, you guys. It's like everything is happening at once. Like, you guys know how impatient I've been, but it's like everything's happening at once. And I'm just so grateful and blessed. But that is what my weekend update was. I told you guys I had a lot of good news. But yeah, I do feel like everything's going to turn out okay. I worry too much. I'm a worrywart. But give me some advice down below about David. I'd really appreciate it because it's just not going away. It's just this thing I got for him is not going away. Like when I had a crush on somebody at Goodwill, and I asked them if they like to go to the movies sometime, just go to the movies, nothing like as friends. And they said no. I was like, okay, well, screw you. Okay, bye-bye. But with David, it's like I'm still thinking about him, and it sucks. But I want to be happy. I should be happy. I mean, Mount Rogers, you guys. Anyways, you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Keep my niece in your prayers that her baby will grow to be healthy, and just give her peace. She has a lot of anxiety, and I don't really blame her. But I told her, like today, I said, everything's going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine. But I love you guys, and I'll be talking to you soon.